Welcome to Ramzan biology lectures. Please subscribe and also press the bell icon to receive updates of my lecture.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another biology lecture from Ramzan Biology. And in this lecture, we will talk about the nucleus. Actually, we are starting a series of lecture on the cell organelles, and our today's main discussion is about the nucleus. So, nucleus is the main controller of the whole cell, meaning that all activities, all functions, all phenomena occurring inside the cell, these all are controlled by the cell, by the nucleus, and the nucleus tell the cell that do this function at which time and how do and why do. Just like in our body, our whole body function are controlled by our brain. Our brain message to our all system of our body and all organs of our body to give a response to some changes and all phenomena occurring inside and outside of our body. So the same wise, nucleus is also the controller of the whole cell. So let's start about its composition. Meanwhile, nucleus is a larger organelle present inside the cell, and it is the larger organelles which can be seen directly under a microscope. It is the visible, and it is the largest organelle, largest component inside a cell. Now, nucleus, just like the cell nucleus, is wrapped by double membrane, and that is called nuclear envelope. And the nuclear envelope is consists of protein and lipid. So you can see here, this double membrane is made of protein and lipid, and all the membrane, just like if we talk about this whole cell membrane, so the cell membrane is also consist of protein and lipid, and this protein and lipid are prepared inside the cell by the rhabdomoplasmic reticulum, and we'll talk about it in the next lecture. So the nuclear membrane is also composed of protein and lipid. Now you can see here these three-like structure surrounded in whole nucleus. These are called chromatin. They are called chromatin. They are called long three-like structure, and they are the genetic material. They are composed of DNA plus protein. So before, from the cell division, all the genetic material in the form of DNA, they are uncoiled in the nucleus, and they are called as the DNA plus protein. But when the cell is going to undergoes the division, so that time these uncoiled three-like structure are converted into coiled form, that is then known as the chromosome. And chromosome is consist of chromatid. These each arm is called chromatid, and this is a center point where the chromatid are attached, and it is called centromere, and it is made of kinetochore protein. Kinetochore protein. So kinetochore protein, centromere is consist of kinetochore protein. Now you can see there this red portion inside the whole nucleus. This is called nucleolus, and it is involved in the synthesis of, you can see, R per ribosomal and RNA. Ribosomal RNA synthesis is done by the nucleolus. How it does? It is by that we say that inside the nucleus there is no synthesis of protein. The synthesis of protein actually occur outside the nucleus in the cytoplasm. And how it taken that the RNA, messenger RNA, is sent out by the nucleus outside to the cytoplasm, and then attached with the ribosome and synthesis protein. But actually we are talking about the nucleolus. So in nucleolus there is the formation of ribosomal RNA, and as we know that ribosomal RNAs consist of the protein plus RNA. When the ribosome is synthesizing by the nucleolus, so that time we need RNA plus protein. But actually there is no protein inside the nucleus because the protein synthesis occur in the cytoplasm. So that time, as we mentioned, that there are some pores in the nuclear envelope. These are pores, and these pores are responsible for transporting the material inside the nucleus and outside to the cytoplasm. So when the nucleus is going to synthesis ribosome, that time the protein from outside cytoplasm will go inside the nucleus into the nucleolus, and then RNA is already present inside the nucleus. So RNA and protein will combine and make give us the ribosome. So okay, ribosome will give us, this is the ribosome, and then the ribosome will come out of the nucleus through these pore. You can see here this pore. These pore are called nuclear pore. Now these genetic material, as we mentioned, these are the genetic material, they are also found in the mitochondria. Mitochondria is also consist of the genetic material. So we're talking about the genetic material. So same was mitochondria is also composed of the genetic material, but the genetic material of mitochondria are not responsible for just like the transferring of the character, just like the nuclear genetic chromosome. So this is the structure of chromosome inside the nucleus, but each species have various number of chromosome. Like in human there are 46 chromosome, 33 pair of chromosome, and when the process of mitosis is going on, so that time the full number of chromosomes are transferred from the parent to the daughter cells. But during the meiosis, which is the sexual reproduction, the number of chromosome are half, meaning that the 46 chromosome will convert into 233 pair. You talk about it in the meiosis, but now I give only already idea. Now, as we mentioned for the genetic material, so we can say that there are a lot of genetic material. So we will say nucleus contain most gene of the cell. That most gene of the cell are stored in the nucleus, and therefore nucleus is recognized as the genetic material organelle of the cell. And this whole nucleus was discovered firstly by the Robert Brown in 1831. Robert Brown discovered the nucleus structure in the 1831 after the discovery of the cell. Now we will discuss about the composition of the nucleus. Now we will talk about the function of the cell. So let's start. Now we will talk about the function of the nucleus. That what are the function performed by the nucleus. So the first function is the control center. And the control center function, as we mentioned in the first part of the lecture, all the phenomena, all the functions occurring in the cell, these all are controlled by the nucleus, just like our brain control our whole body phenomena. The second one is the contain hereditary material. So we mentioned that the nucleus contain hereditary material genes, and the genes then give a structure DNA, and then DNA or uncoiled structure present surrounded in the nucleus. Then during cell division they are coiled, they make a coil like structure that is known as the chromosome. The third function is the send messenger RNA to stop protein synthesis. So this function is performed like this, as I mentioned here the diagram, that suppose this is a nucleus. Inside the nucleus there are the genetic material. When the genetic material, suppose this is a messenger RNA sent out, this messenger RNA, suppose hold the cell, is attached itself with the cytoplasmic ribosome, and when this attach itself, then after this the protein synthesis occur, and then the genetic sequence of the messenger RNA is converted into amino acid sequence. So therefore the nucleus is able to send the messenger RNA and direct the protein synthesis. So mainly nucleus is responsible for directing the protein synthesis, meaning that it sends only the messenger RNA and other protein synthesis does not occur inside the nucleus. The last function is the inside nucleus synthesis ribosome. As we mentioned, that ribosome is a machinery of the converting the genetic code to the amino acid code. So therefore, ribosome is also prepared inside the nucleus by the nucleolus, and the ribosome is composed of RNA plus protein, and this protein comes from the cytoplasmic, and this RNA is present already in the nucleus. So the first function was the controlling center, and the second one is they contain hereditary material. The third one is the messenger RNA sending and then starting the protein synthesis in the cytoplasm. The last one is the synthesis of ribosome by the nucleolus present inside the nucleus. So I hope this lecture will be helpful to you, and if you have any doubt and any question in this, you can mention in the comment, and inshallah in the next lecture we will talk about the next organelles present in the cell, and also subscribe our channel and do not forget it, and also press the bell icon to receive update on my lectures.